The Brazilian Air Force is currently undergoing significant restructuring. Previously, the Air Force's units were split into 4 air forces under 7 regional commands. Under the new structure, the units are going to be split into 15 wings under 4 regional commands. The support administration is going to be decentralized, which means that a number of support commands, such as the General Support Command or the Personal Support Command, are going to be disbanded. Instead, the air wings are going to be in charge of personnel and material management, as well as operational and deployment management. The main effect of the changes is that the Air Force should incur significant savings, as well as increase its rate of responsiveness, which should be a natural consequence of a leaner and more flexible administration. There will no longer be permanent units based at Santos, Alfonsos and Florianopolis airbases. The Air Force will operate out of 15 main airbases, which will correspond to the 15 air wings. Aircraft will be deployed in an ad hoc manner from the aforementioned 3 bases, as well as from a network of over 60 airstrips across the country. Further, the Air Force is planning to cut about 25% of its personnel. This will be achieved through the disbandment of the medium-level commands discussed previously, as well as through contracting personnel for shorter periods of time. It remains to be seen whether this strategy will pose a challenge in terms of retentions of skills, which usually lie with personnel staying with the Air Force for longer periods of time. Freed up funds will be used for 2 main purposes. The first is the increase in the number of flight hours and improvement of readiness. In 2016, the Brazilian Air Force logged 100,000 flight hours, which is 50,000 flight hours less than its self-imposed minimum. Further, only 250 out of its 600 aircraft are operational. The funds will therefore be used to increase the number of flight hours, as well as to improve the availability of the aircraft fleet. At the end of 2016, the Air Force announced its intention to procure an additional 50 fighter aircraft. It is highly probable that these fighter aircraft are going to be Gripens, given the government's enduring commitment to the Gripen fighter program, as well as due to maintenance and training synergies, which are a natural consequence of a homogeneous fighter fleet. The Air Force also announced its intention to procure advanced trainers, which will present a change in the training doctrine of the Brazilian Air Force. Currently, basic training is undertaken on Embraer 312 turboprop aircraft, while continuation training is undertaken on 2-seat versions of the A1 and F5 aircraft. However, the government announced a reduction in number of modernized 2-seat aircraft. Additionally, the number of 2-seat Gripens in the future Gripen fleet is going to be relatively small. Therefore, the Air Force has to procure advanced trainers to ensure the availability of a sufficiently large cadre of trained pilots for its future Gripen fleet.